Hi guys, I'm Carly and this is my channel, The Planted Carly Flower. Today we're going to talk about some top wish list plants that I have on my list. I think I have a list of 10. So we'll talk about all 10 of them and I'll put pictures because obviously I don't have these plants. And I would hope to own a good chunk of these by the end of the year, but you know, you never know. I'm not going to be hurt if I don't. They're all pretty hard to find and pretty expensive, some of them, so I might not own them. But it's fun to dream, it's fun to have a wish list, so let's see what we got. Okay guys, let's get right into my top 10 wish list. I'm going to preface this by saying that they are all Hoya and Philodendron. I have owned plants for a number of years and I've recently gotten into like a larger scale collection, but I do know what I like and what I don't like, and I typically don't buy plants I know that I A, can't care for well, B, know I won't enjoy long term, or just in general am not fans of the particular type. So yeah, I know that I love philodendrons and I know that I love Hoyas, so that's what's mostly on my list. Actually, that's all that's on my list. But let's go ahead and start with a Hoya. So I'm going to put pictures of these Hoyas up because I obviously don't own them. And the first one is going to be Hoya undulata. I think this plant is just so prehistoric and Jurassic, and I love that about Hoyas. I cannot wait to own way more of these prehistoric-y, like Caudata Sumatra. I have one of those and it's just so prehistoric. Some Finlaysonii actually look very like Jurassic dinosaur period. Like I can just see a Hoya undulata hanging from a tree and like some crazy prehistoric crocodile swimming by in the swamps of the before times, you know what I mean? Like it's just so cool, and it gets this beautiful like purple sun-stressed look when it gets a lot of light. These plants are hard to find for sale, and when you do find them for sale, they go like for around $400. I think the cheapest I've seen one is $300. The chances of me ever being able or wanting to spend $400 on a plant is pretty slim. So I know that I likely will never actually physically own one of these plants, but it's on my wish list because that's what it is, a wish. And you never know, things happen. I'm not very big into cutting my plants and trading and stuff like that. I mean, I will if it's something I really, really want, but it depends on what they really, really want to. I personally, most of my collection is just NFS, you know, not for sale, but you never know. Right? You never know. So if an undulata that was just too good to pass up came along, I might be cutting something. Anyway, but yeah, so Hoya undulata is on my wish list, and these are in no particular order. But yeah, so that's one of them. Now, if I was gonna have a top plant that is the #1 on my wish list, it's gotta be Hoya Sarawak. I know that that's not really horribly uncommon. Sorry, my leg's falling asleep. I know that's not horribly uncommon. I know Hoya Sarawaks pop up every now and then, but I friggin' love the way a Hoya Sarawak looks. It's the veining and the shape of the leaves and the growth pattern is just all so good. Like I just love it so much. I've seen them for sale anywhere in the 150 to 250 range. And I have to say, like, that would be a hard one for me to pass up. But the reason I don't have one yet is I would love to have a bigger plant. And I haven't come across one that has just grabbed my eye and made me be like, yeah, that's worth $250. I have no problem spending money on things I enjoy and things that I love to a certain extent. But I have to really, really love it. And I haven't found one that I love enough to buy yet. But Hoya Sarawak is definitely a top contender for #1. Like, it's beautiful and I want one so much. Gusty's Plants has one. I'll link his page in the description box down below. That's just absolutely stunning. I'm so jelly. I'm peanut butter and jealous, Gusty. I love your Sarawak. And it's just gorgeous. So I definitely want one soon. Heather Hoyas has one that's actually very beautiful. I'll link her down below as well. Heather, I love your Sarawak. So yeah, I definitely want to find a nice, well-rooted plant. I definitely am not wanting something I have to establish. I want a nice, big, beautiful plant. I don't mind waiting for it. I don't mind waiting for it to come across my path. Sometimes the good things are worth waiting for, and I'm definitely finding that this is going to be worth waiting for. Okay, another wish list Hoya for me is Hoya latifolia, otherwise known as the dinner plate plant. The dinner plate plant. These leaves get massive, and I'll definitely be putting pictures up. These leaves get huge, and I just love them so much. I would love to have big leaves are where it's at for me recently. I do love smaller leafed Hoyas, don't get me wrong. Some of my favorite Hoyas have little tiny baby leaves. But I definitely would like to add some larger leaf Hoyas to my collection this summer. And I cannot wait to do that. I got a Balanensis pretty recently that has a gigantic leaf. You should check out my Instagram. It'll be linked down below, but there's a picture of it on there, and it's beautiful, absolutely stunning. I got it from Unsolicited Plant Talks. She's pricey, but her plants are beautiful. Yeah, I just Hoya latifolia. It has, like I said, beautiful leaves. The blooms are gorgeous as well. I'll put a picture of the blooms if I can find one. And yeah, that's going to be another one on my wish list for sure. Okay, another Hoya that I definitely want to get before the end of 2021 is Hoya Sigilatus. Sigilatus. As we know, I am not the best with my tongue doesn't always do what I want it to do. I do have a bit of a speech impediment. I had speech therapy for years, but some things you just don't grow out of. Anyway, I will put the name of the Hoya down here somewhere so you can see it, and a picture so you can see it. I want one of these so bad. I actually had the opportunity to buy one recently from a friend, and I bought it, and it was beautiful, and it was a nice, large, like decent sized cutting. It was rooted. It was gorgeous. Unfortunately, her dog got a hold of it before she could ship it to me and tore the whole thing up. Dog is fine, don't worry. But it happens. It wasn't meant to be. I was not upset. I understood. She sent me something else that was beautiful too. And just wasn't meant for me to have that plant. The universe decided there's a different one out there for me somewhere, and I'm just going to patiently wait till it shows up. But it has these beautiful long leaves, and when you sun stress it, it turns this purplish, pinkish, reddish. It's beautiful. I love it so much. And it is a smaller leaf Hoya. There you go. I do like smaller leaf Hoyas, and I cannot wait for that to join my collection soon. The next Hoya I feel is like on every Hoya head's wish list. Everybody loves this Hoya. It's so hard to find. I've actually never even seen the true version of this plant for sale. There's different varieties of it. I do have a Clemensorium, but it's a SPF affinity. Like it's not the true, it's like a hybrid of it. But the Hoya Clemensorium. It is beautiful. It's another one of those prehistoric, veiny, sun stressy, gorgeous long leaf Hoyas that just are so delicious. I love it. I cannot wait till I just even see one for Zeus wants to say hi. I can't even wait till I just find one for sale. This dog is just like my children, wants nothing to do with me until I'm busy. You're gonna tear up the fan. There you go, buddy. He got back on my bed. And now he's eating my hair tie. Zeus, stop it. Stop. Lay down. There you go. That's a good boy. There's a good boy. Let's see if I can excuse my messing around. He's such a dork. But I love him. Yes. Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled planty program after a little interruption from my dog. What was I saying? Clemensorium. I would just love to see one of these for sale. I think that, even just seeing that would be so satisfying and amazing. I can only imagine what somebody would ask for this Hoya, and I can only imagine that they would absolutely get it too. The only person I've ever seen actually have one in their possession is April from Unsolicited Plant Talks, and as far as I know, she has not ever put it up for sale. I think it's part of a personal collection. But yeah, absolutely stunning plant. I'm so peanut butter and jealous. It's beautiful. I cannot wait someday to just even see one of these for sale, because I'm pretty sure I'll never own one, simply because of how rare and how expensive it will be. But just to see its journey and to see someone actually obtain it, I'd be so happy. I'd be so genuinely happy for anybody who got this plant, because it's so beautiful. Just to know that they're out there in collections is amazing. Absolutely stunning. And it's definitely going to be a big wish list plant for a lot of people, just because of how absolutely cool it is. It's the coolest, isn't it? Let me put another picture up so you can see. Isn't that just the coolest? I swear, I have a big thing with like time and history of the earth, and just the prehistoric ones get me. They get me on a soul level. Like, I love them. Another Hoya that a lot of Hoya heads are like obsessed with is the Wilbur Graves. I really like the splash on this plant. I know it for a lot of people, they're like, it just looks like a splashy carnosa. I mean, it is a splashy carnosa, it's a carnosa hybrid, you know, but it's beautiful. I love it. I know it's pretty, like, everybody says this one, you know, but it's I do really love it. The reason I don't have it yet is because it's currently at a price point I cannot justify. Maybe someday if the price comes down, or if I can find one in a trade that I'm willing to go ahead and do, I'll score and get one, but I'm perfectly fine with it sitting on my wish list until that happens. It is a beautiful Hoya. The blooms are also gorgeous, and it's one that I wouldn't mind having in my collection to round out my carnosas. But yeah, absolutely, it's gorgeous, and there's, you know, a lot of people talk about it, so there's not really a whole lot to say about it. But yeah, it's on my wish list as a Hoya that I would love to own in 2021 if the price point comes down to a place where I can tolerate it. Sorry, my dog is wanting love right now. That face, I can't just ignore him. I can't do it. He's too cute. Okay, so let's see what else. Okay, we're moving into the few philodendrons that I have, and on my wish list is a philodendron gigas. Yes, I know that those are pretty common plants. I can go online and probably get one right now, and maybe I will at some point this year, but as of right now, it is on my wish list. I do plan to budget myself pretty strictly this year. I have a feeling this will probably be one of the ones that I do get, simply because it's very easily attainable and the price isn't crazy. I haven't priced them in a little bit, so who knows, maybe they're like $500 now, and I'm telling you that a $500 plant isn't crazy. But last time I checked, they were maybe like around $100, $150. I also haven't gotten one yet because I do want to get my other Millsbow in, so that I can put it in that and it will thrive. Yeah, but I think it's beautiful. The foliage is stunning. I love the look of the leaves. I love the growth pattern. This plant I would probably make a moss pull for and stake up. You're so needing the attention today. Yeah, I would totally stake it up and put it up and let it grow nice, huge, beautiful leaves. But yeah, so on my wish list, one of the philodendron is the philodendron gigas. Another philodendron on my list is the philodendron melanochrysum. And yes, I know that as another common plant that I can, well, not common, but fairly common, easily obtainable from most shops, on Etsy, online. And I probably will get one of those this year too. Again, I would like to have my other Millsbow set up and ready to rock and roll before I purchased it. And I would also stake this plant as well because I love a really big, huge philodendron leaf. And the melanochrysum is beautiful. I do have several friends that own this plant. If they're looking to make a little bit of money, I might try and buy a cutting from them. I haven't really looked into it too much yet. For me, 2021 is really just getting going. But yeah, absolutely, definitely will probably own one by the end of the year. It's a beautiful plant, and I would love to have it in my philodendron collection. Another philodendron that I would really like to obtain this year is the burlmarks fantasy. The silvery blue, shiny, like iridescent leaves. I know this one is definitely reliant on some humidity and more like a little bit of a terrarium type plant. At least that's what I've been told. It will also go in my second Mills bow here in my bedroom when I get one. Those plants actually seem to be coming a little bit down in price lately, and that makes me happy because that makes it more realistic that I might own one in the future. But I believe that they're absolutely beautiful. I would also stake this one on a moss pole and let it grow, and I would definitely treasure having something so beautiful in my collection. Let me know if you have one, because I love to hear what other people have in their collection. I'm always so happy when other people obtain beautiful wish list plants like that. And that is it. That is my top 10 wish list plants for 2021. I don't know if I'll own all of these by the end of the year, but it would be absolutely amazing. And maybe at the end of the year, we'll check in again and see how many of these I actually bought and how many of them even actually stay on my wish list. My wish list changes by the day pretty much. But these plants I picked because they've been on my wish list for quite a while, most of them. So yeah, let me know if you have any of these particular plants that I mentioned and what you think of them. Do you think that they're wish list worthy? Are you not as into some of them? What's your top wish list plant? Leave all that information down in the comment section down below, and I would love to just talk to you about that. Please join me on Instagram. I post there every day. I'm active in all my stories, and I post, like I said, at least twice a day usually. I might take a day or two off here and there just because social media gets me sometimes. But yeah, absolutely, I'd love to talk to you about anything and everything, either here in the comments or on Instagram. Link down below for my Instagram. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Definitely stick around if you feel like you'd like to be part of my group in my channel here and would like to grow with me. I am getting more comfortable in front of the computer or the camera, and I'm hoping to really up my game here very shortly and put out better quality content as I learn more about editing and things like that. But thank you so much for sticking around, and I'm really enjoying spending this time with you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.